There is a silent ritual happening in bedrooms across the world every night, and it feels harmless. A final scroll, one more episode, a few last emails. It seems small, almost deserved after a long day. But in those quiet minutes before sleep, something critical inside the brain begins to unravel. The damage is subtle, there is no pain, no alarm. Yet night after night, this habit quietly disrupts the most powerful repair system the human body possesses. The brain does not simply shut off when we fall asleep. It shifts into a highly organized biological state designed for restoration. During deep sleep, networks that were firing all day slow down. Hormones recalibrate, memories are sorted and stored. Most remarkably, a specialized cleaning system activates flushing metabolic waste from brain tissue, waste that accumulates as neurons generate energy and communicate. Research in neuroscience has shown that this nighttime clearance process plays a role in long-term brain health and may be linked to the risk of neurodegenerative disease when chronically impaired. And yet one of the most common pre-bed habits directly interferes with the biological signals that initiate this entire sequence. Artificial light after dark, especially the blue-enriched light emitted by phones, tablets, televisions, and LED lighting, delays the release of melatonin, the hormone that signals darkness to the body. Melatonin is not just about feeling sleepy. It coordinates circadian rhythm, the internal clock that synchronizes metabolism, immune function, hormone production, and brain chemistry with the 24-hour day. When bright light floods the eyes late at night, the brain interprets it as daytime. Cortisol, a hormone associated with alertness, may remain elevated. The natural descent into deep, restorative sleep is postponed or fragmented. The result is not always immediate insomnia. Often, people fall asleep anyway. But the architecture of sleep changes. Deep, slow-wave sleep can be reduced. REM cycles can shift. Over time, this alters how effectively the brain consolidates memory, regulates mood, and clears cellular waste. The consequences extend far beyond mental clarity. Sleep is a master regulator of metabolic function. When sleep is shortened or disrupted, insulin sensitivity declines. Cells become less responsive to insulin, the hormone responsible for moving glucose from the bloodstream into tissues for energy. Even a few nights of restricted sleep have been shown in controlled laboratory settings to impair glucose regulation in healthy adults. Chronically, this can contribute to weight gain, increased appetite through altered hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin, and a higher risk of type 2 diabetes. This is where the late-night screen habit becomes a metabolic issue, not just a sleep issue. When circadian rhythm is misaligned, the timing of hormone release shifts. Growth hormone, essential for tissue repair and muscle recovery, is predominantly secreted during deep sleep. Testosterone and estrogen follow rhythmic patterns tied to sleep cycles. Cortisol should peak in the morning and gradually decline throughout the day. Repeated late-night stimulation can flatten these rhythms. In men and women alike, this hormonal drift influences energy, mood stability, reproductive health, and body composition. Meanwhile, inside the gut, another clock is ticking. The trillions of microbes that form the gut microbiome operate on circadian cycles as well. Feeding times, light exposure, and sleep patterns influence microbial diversity and metabolic output. Irregular sleep and late-night eating, often paired with screen time, can disrupt microbial balance. Evidence suggests that such disruption may contribute to low-grade systemic inflammation, altered glucose metabolism, and changes in appetite regulation. The gut and brain communicate constantly through neural, hormonal, and immune pathways. When sleep suffers, this communication shifts. Inflammation is the quiet thread connecting these systems. Short-term inflammation is protective. Chronic low-grade inflammation, however, is associated with cardiovascular disease, metabolic syndrome, cognitive decline, and certain cancers. Sleep deprivation has been shown to elevate inflammatory markers in the bloodstream. Over months and years, this creates a biological environment that favors dysfunction rather than repair. Arteries become less flexible. Blood pressure regulation weakens. The immune system becomes either overreactive or suppressed. And yet, none of this feels dramatic at first. It feels like grogginess, brain fog, afternoon cravings, slight irritability, reduced motivation to exercise, a subtle decline in patience or focus. These small shifts feed into daily habits. When energy is low, movement decreases. Reduced physical activity further impairs insulin sensitivity and cardiovascular conditioning. Poor sleep increases cravings for calorie-dense foods. Those foods influence gut health and inflammation. The cycle compounds. On the other side of this pattern lies a powerful reversal. When light exposure is reduced in the hour before bed, melatonin rises more predictably. The nervous system shifts toward parasympathetic dominance, the state associated with rest and digestion. Heart rate slows, blood vessels relax. The brain transitions into deeper stages of sleep more efficiently. Over time, insulin sensitivity improves. Appetite regulation stabilizes. Mood becomes more resilient. Exercise performance increases because recovery improves. Inside the brain, the nighttime cleaning system operates more effectively. Synaptic connections are refined. Memory networks strengthen. Emotional experiences are processed and integrated. Cognitive performance the next day becomes sharper, not through stimulants but through restoration. Longevity is rarely determined by a single dramatic decision. It is shaped by patterns, a repeated signal to the body that it is safe to repair, safe to recalibrate, safe to invest in long-term function rather than immediate survival. The habit that feels insignificant before bed is, in reality, a biological message. It tells the brain whether to remain on alert or to enter its most restorative state. It influences hormones, metabolism, immunity, cardiovascular integrity, and cognitive aging. Health is not built in moments of intensity. It is built in moments of discipline that seem almost invisible, turning off the screen, dimming the lights, allowing darkness to do what it has done for human physiology for thousands of years. In that darkness, the brain is not idle. It is repairing the future,